the Power of People, again, the reference will be at the end of this course, but in that book, myself and my co-authors, Nigel and Sherry, created a model called the Complexity Impact Model. And this was a simple 2x2 model that allows projects and work in people analytics to be considered against two axes. One axis is the complexity axis, and the other is the impact axis. And we can look at the criteria for projects based on those two things. First, though, let's just go over, if you do the 2x2, there are basically 4 areas. And the book describes these in quite some depth. But essentially, you get these 4 areas. You get trivial endeavors, you get big bets, you get pet projects, and you get quick wins. We'll look at those in a little bit more depth right now. First, trivial endeavors. These are projects of low complexity and low impact. Essentially, a trivial endeavor sometimes comes up because people want to work on things that they love and that are easy. The problem is, often these things don't deliver much. My recommendation is avoid analytics projects that are trivial all the time. The second one are pet projects. This is a favorite of mine in terms of the words, but clearly it's not a favorite of mine in terms of the work. I have seen this in action when I was in IBM working with various people, that they really wanted to work on projects. These were analysts themselves, industrial organizational psychologists, business executives who wanted things done. They wanted work done because it was something that they truly loved doing or truly wanted to be done. But in their heart, they knew that it wasn't very valuable and didn't have far-reaching impact. But they loved it because it's a sort of work that they loved and it was a sort of topic that they loved. My recommendation, looking at this overall when you're looking at what work to work on, is try and avoid these. Sometimes they can be useful in terms of helping people learn new analytical techniques or statistical methodologies because you're working on relatively safe things. But really, it's just absorbing time on topics that really don't have much value. So again, my recommendation, try avoid pet projects. Third, let's focus on quick wins. These are projects in the low complexity side of the model, but the high impact side. In quick win projects, you're often working where the data is readily accessible, where the statistical methodology is relatively easy, and you're working on things that will immediately deliver some value. Typical projects in here are the ones that are often quoted in articles and conferences, where people have started out in analytics on recruitment or retention and attrition type projects. Because the data sets are relatively straightforward, i.e. recruitment data or human resource information systems, and you can easily calculate return on investment because you're looking at the cost of people, you can deliver impact very quickly, and the statistical methodology typically are relatively low in complexity. I'm not saying that all quick wins fall into the recruitment or retention or attrition brackets, but certainly to focus on quick wins is a really good part of analytics, so you can deliver value to the business very straightforwardly. And the final area in this 2x2 model are big bets. So big bets are those projects that are high in complexity and also high in impact. These often take a long time and they have lots of complex aspects, but because they've got such a good return on investment or value back to employees or some other way that value is being measured, they can be very, very important projects for businesses to focus on. They're the 4 areas. This is the 2x2. Now let's move on and actually look at the criteria that you might want to focus on in terms of outlining what makes for low and high complexity and what makes for low and high impact. These 2 things will help you in your decision making of people analytics work and projects.